You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what is going on? Welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. This particular episode is going to be pre-recorded, but no worries, we have fun in our pre-recorded shows as well, and I can't wait to get this interview to you guys so that you'll have it for your ear hole. All right? All right, so courage. It is natural to fear the unknown. For thousands of years, a healthy fear of the unknown has kept people alert enough to survive. Yet the fear must not keep us from marching ahead. We must have the courage to live and to grow. Courage is not the absence of fear. Rather, courage is the ability to act in the face of fear. Fear helps us by making us alert to danger. And with courage, we use that heightened state of energy to meet our greatest challenges. There is risk in everything that we do, and often there is even greater risk in doing nothing. Fear rightly keeps us from acting foolishly on some of those occasions. Other times we must feel the fear, and sometimes we do anyway. Like, we must have the courage and the confidence to turn a risk into an opportunity. And most entrepreneurs know what I'm talking about, because every business dealing is definitely a risk upon company, upon character, and upon financial gain or loss, So your greatest achievements are waiting just on the other side of your greatest fear. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or the book, or film, or even the business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create these marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. Big ups to my folks who are Indigos, Crystalline, or the Starseeds, for my Vigilantes audience family, for my hooligans, and shout out to my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're in a struggle like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 5 solid years. I appreciate to all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, films, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology revolutionaries, visual artists, from authors to professors, and vampires. Or people who think they're vampires. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out to book your interview or to appear on my other show called Skeptics. Email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com, and that's V as in Victor. We hope to get the stories behind these unique people and give them a chance to tell their truth to us and the universe. That is Vigilantes Radio sole purpose. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Share that number with your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab them from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, Player.fm, YouTube, any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
Well, today's interview is the Slim-Kuttar interview, and again, I'm your host, Dini-Mussolini. Now, to prove those doubters of the rap and hip-hop wrong, you know what? They're not all bassy and wavy and partying and next door. And yeah, I just made that up. But, you know, behind the scenes of the music, maybe the genre has been misunderstood by the masses for this long time since it has surfaced. But we'll be able to set the record straight on this interview, correct? I hope so. What else can I say? I bonded with the music of Slim-Kuttar over the past few weeks and weekends, pretty much soaking all the information that I could. I'm like pretty much all the stuff that he does. And you guys know that I discover music and new artists organically, but I do understand the wave of things, and sometimes talent is right around the corner, you know. So sometimes I need some help with discovering talent, because there's like a vast sea of you guys out there, you're right? So Slim-Kuttar content is definitely current and hip, so to speak. Just know that I dig the sounds of his music. It's going to be a complete privilege to talk to this dedicated and skilled songwriter and rapper. And with that, my friends, let's invite him on to the show. Slim-Kuttar, how's it going, man?
Yo, what up? First of all, I just want to say thanks for having me.
Definitely, man. How are you feeling, bro?
I'm good. I can't complain at all. Just released a new single recently off the EP, so just excited. Fun times right now.
Definitely, man. Are you feeling any pressure?
Nah, not at all. I think when it comes to pressure, that's just I look at it just a word. You only feel pressure if you allow yourself to, or to allow yourself to succumb to pressure. I like to take things, step by step, day by day, and handle what I can handle, and the rest, I leave it to the man upstairs. So,
Yes, sir. Spoken like a true pro. Definitely. Well, man, first and foremost, let me extend a massive thank you for your time. I know that time is always precious. So I had an absolute blast checking out, your music and your background. And quite honestly, I was impressed to find out all the things or all the hats that you wear. But on to more pressing impressions. Tell us about what led to the confidence to becoming an artist.
Well, I always was, involved in music from the business side of things. I was on the management side where I managed different artists. I did contract negotiation and party promotion, booked shows, and I guess all of the less flashier things, or what some may consider all of the boring stuff. So I was behind the scenes. And the opportunity presented itself where I can actually do music myself. And I jumped on it, and, I've been enjoying it ever since. So music and just hip-hop, to me, I wasn't a complete stranger to it. I already was familiar. And at times, when you are a manager, sometimes you have to play DJ, sometimes you have to play hype man, sometimes you have to play security, the whole nine. So I was familiar with all aspects of it. So I think it was an easy transition for me to be able to go from behind the scenes to be in the forefront.
Right on. And how long have you been at it?
I've been actually performing as an artist, recording, doing music for it'll be coming up on 2 years, actually in January. So it's been kind of a whirlwind, but it's been a fun ride. I've been blessed to experience the successes I've had, so far, and just looking to, continuing to move forward and just getting bigger and bigger.
Right on, right on. And since you've been on like the executive side of business, you know that consistency is always the key. Well, it is nowadays. 15, 20 years ago, it wasn't the case. You know, an artist can live off one album for an entire year, maybe 2 years
Right.
if it was dope enough, right?
Right.
The Hot Boys had like, what, a 3-year stretch on one song?
Yeah,
That thing
definitely.
up? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
Most definitely. Yeah, consistency is the most important thing, I think. You know, sometimes you can make that one song, and everybody, you know, at the end of the day, you really search for that. Every artist, I feel like, needs to have that one song, that one defining song that, you know, stand the test of time, and like long after you're done recording, you know, you at least have that one song that everybody keeps playing. You know, the goal is to have multiple songs, multiple albums, but you always want that one. But even with that being said, you want to keep your content consistent, and that's what I try to do. I know what my target audience is, I know what my fan base is, and I know who I am as an artist. So when I'm, you know, in the studio writing or, you know, recording music, I try to keep it consistent to reflect who I am versus, you know, trying to go with whatever the masses may think is,
Right on.
you know, in right now or popular right now. Because, you know, if you're a music fan and a music connoisseur like I am, you like all types of music. So I just feel like it's a real big lane for what I'm doing, and that's what I just want to stay consistent to.
Right on, right on. Man, I had another question, but it just flew out the window. But man, my brain be like this, man. Sporadic.
Oh, no, I do the same way. We can always circle back on here.
Definitely, man, definitely. So once your EP came out, what was your plan for it? Did you tour? You know, you go around shaking hands, kissing babies, hugging necks, time off, or did you jump into another project?
Well, with me, it was because I was new to the artist side of things. It was just, okay, now that I got this EP done, I had to, you know, brand myself as an artist and really get it out there. So what I did was I just released, it's a 5-song EP, and I've already released 4 of the songs as singles. You know, so Off the Wall was the first song I released off the EP. That was the first song I ever released as an artist myself. And it was just a matter of working that song, you know, creating a buzz for myself where people wanted to hear more, you know, and wanted to know who was Slim-Kuttar as an artist. So before I stepped on, you know, before I could step on any stage, you know, I had to really get it out there and, you know, like I said, create a name for myself. And then once I was able to do that, the thing was to kind of work the record, but just be, you know, practical and ideal about it, because at the time, you know, you're working it from an independent standpoint. Even though I released it through a European distributor at the time, it was Ditto. Released through Galaxy Group, who Attila Galaxy is a friend of mine and a partner of mine, one of my good friends, mentors, Drew Young, introduced me to him. So that's how it kind of came about. But it was just mainly just hitting the ground running with the record. So I was able to secure radio for it. From radio, European radio, national radio here in the States. We kind of worked it from a regional standpoint, you know, start in your hometown, your own backyard, and just naturally, you know, we went from Louisiana over to Mississippi, Florida, Texas, you know, that whole South region, Alabama, and then, you know, people started to, like, really dig the record once it hit iHeartRadio. It was on Q93 here and a couple of other internet radio, so I started to get airplay, and then a couple other radio stations picked it up. I was then able to, you know, now grab the attention of promoters, you know, and those who I knew had relationships, booking tours. Definitely my management team, Melvin Foley, Birdie, T from B Squad Management, they definitely, you know, played a big part in it as far as securing, you know, interviews where I'm able to talk to dope people like yourself who are very involved in the music and got platforms to help me expand, you know, my fan base. So it was just, you know, coming up with a plan, just really sticking to that plan, but really just branding myself.
Right on. Man, I remember the question now. You were talking about, like, every artist should have that, you know, one song or a few songs that just, you know, basically carry, not saying carry their career, but what fans are, you know, fans of the art should, you know, remember. Do you have that particular song in your arsenal yet?
Yeah, I do. I feel like, honestly, and not, and I think every artist feel like this, but truthfully, I feel like every song I've released has been unique and in its own right, and it reaches the grass. And it's like I make that music for the everyday person of all ages,
right.
the everyday worker. If you listen to my lyrical content, it's something that I feel like everybody can relate to. From Off the Wall is basically just saying, like, we having a good time, let's have a party. Don't why come to the party if you just gonna stand around and look? No, enjoy yourself. Why go to any event if you just gonna stand around and look? And then it was happy hour, and it's just about, you working at the end of a long day, you ready to unwind, and just forget about all your problems. And then next it was My Lady, and My Lady was just a salute to any person just want to pay homage to their significant other, and that person who's had their back, through the good times and the bad. But I definitely feel like the one I just released, Overdose-on-Lust, this gonna be that record. This is gonna be that record. The other ones have created a nice, solid foundation for me, getting their platform. But this record, I feel like, is gonna be the one that makes me a household name. I just released it on the 12th, and I'm super excited about it. It definitely embodies the New Orleans. Suge produced the record, and when I first heard it, it was a bounce track, and when we first put it on, I just started playing around with it, and that's how the hook came. Like, where she at? There she go. It's just that typical homegrown New Orleans feel to it. And then I was able to flip the verses where it's a movie. I feel like it's about four individuals trying to navigate their way through a love triangle, and it has a crazy twist on the end. So I feel like it's one of those definitely kind of take you back to the old trapped in the closet kind of thing. Man, kind of deep like that. But at the same time, it got that beat where you can really get down to it on the club, bob your head, really enjoy it. So I definitely feel like this is that record.
Nice. I don't know, man. I'm a professional wallflower. I go to events and parties just to people watch. Just my thing. and something, we all do that. You know what I'm saying? We all do that. But I just, but even with that being said, it's always, at some point in the party, whether the drinks kick in or the DJ is just spinning those tunes where you like, all right, now it's time for me to get off this wall and like really get into it. So at some point, I feel like everybody has that moment wherever you at, you ready to get off the wall and really start jigging. Yeah, man. Right song, come on.
Right.
Definitely. So this is really your debut. This EP.
Yeah, just my debut EP. Believe it or not, these are the first 5 songs I've ever recorded. And it's crazy because a lot of people, was just like, I'm just going to release the EP. But I'm like, me having a business background in it, I was thinking from a business perspective and not just from a music perspective. I feel like at times, you got a lot of dope artists that put out so much music that you don't allow, projects time to breathe and marinate, and people, by the time you get into an artist project, they release something else, and then you're like, oh, now I got to go jump on this, and they don't allow it that time. So for me, it was very important, to really allow this EP to really work, and I just felt like also too, with the lane that I'm in and the approach that I took to the hip-hop music, because it wasn't purposely done. It just came out like this. If you notice, none of the songs have really provided lyrics, no cursing in it, and it's not like it was just about that set out to do. It just came when I was writing. That's just the way it came to me, And I'm a big fan of trap music, and all different types of music. But it was just like, okay, when I was writing, this is how it came across in my mind. So that was one of the things I just felt like, this party vibe music, I felt like I wanted to give each song is due justice, to really catch people's ear before I just put out the entire project. And, so far, so good.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I was just talking to a buddy the other day. he's coming over from the management executive side too, and this guy's phenomenal. Like he did so much great work for artists, and so now he want to try his hand at being an artist, and he's like, Dini, I don't know what to do. He's like, I'm used to doing stuff for everybody else, but when it comes to myself, I have no clue what to do. Did you experience that, or did you just jump in right away knowing, what to do?
Definitely. Oh, no, I can definitely relate to it, because at the end of the day, you still have those reserves. Like, it's easy to do it for somebody else, and it's not you that got to get up on the stage and do these interviews and get up in front of, strangers and perform and go in the studio and come up with music that not just your inner circle, but just a perfect stranger halfway across the world alike, So it is, right. I'm not saying it is... everybody, because if it was that easy, anybody would do it, to make good quality music. So I did have those reserves about it, because I just felt like, how serious would people take me from them knowing me from basketball, they knowing me from, management side of things, business side of things. How serious would they take me for artists, and how serious would they take my music to even give it a fair listen, that me having a fair shake. So I did have those reserves at first, but it was one of those things that I just felt like, you know what, you only live once, and, not to sound too cliche, but it was like, okay, either you're going to like it or you're not. And I just rolled the dice and went with it. So I would say to your man, that anybody that want to do it, just do it and just see what happens. But I was just, fortunate and blessed enough to have, people in my corner that knew the business, that were, like I said, Uncle Shug, he produced the entire project. Sugar Dad, he produced a lot of early music from No Limit, so Just Slim was one of my favorite artists. He produced a lot of his hits, so he was already a gold and platinum producer. Then all of the music is mixed down by Rich. Mixed by Rich. He's worked with a lot of different artists, every major artist that's come out of, the state of Louisiana, not just the city, but the state, and other artists around the nation. And he has, platinum and gold credit to his name. So I was fortunate enough to be able to work with these guys who had and I felt like I had a good ear for music. And, like I said, my management team with Mel, he had a lot of artists, and they've been signed to major labels, and also Birdie and Faith, being able to have this type of, support system. And then my squad, honestly, the Hustlers, my road manager, Wayne, and not to just name drop, but like my DJ Suave, my A1 guy, Strings. These guys, everybody, and the reason why I call Strings, he plays all a lot. Like, he could play anything live. So that's why his nickname is Strings. So I got him as the music manager, because one of the unique things I felt like with this EP is all of the music you can actually play with live instruments. I included a lot of live instruments in it, so listening to it. So we working to revamp that and do that for the live shows coming up, get the live music. So just having these people in your corner, and another thing too, they were going to be honest with me. They're going to be very upfront and honest, and like, okay, if it's trash, let me know it's trash. Don't just tell me something good and then I put it out there and they be like, man, I can't believe you, Slim, to put this out there. So, you got to roll the dice. You're a little unsure, but I think the biggest challenge was getting people to take me serious as an artist. Thinking back, actually, my girl was like, when I first said, I'm about to rap now, she was like, oh, so you going to be a 40-year-old rapper? Now, I'm nowhere near 40, but it was just that concept of, now you about to decide to rap. And then, when everybody started to hear the music, they were like, oh, all right, this is something different. It's a new wave, a new vibe. Yeah. I like it, and they started about to hear, and that's when I was like, all right, I'm on to something. I got something. Let me keep it going. So, that's pretty much it as far as.
Absolutely hate that stigma, man. When you're over the age of 17 or 18, you an old guy trying to rap,
Right.
It's like people have different timelines, different things they have to do in life. It's ultimately up to anybody to get in there and do what they want to do, pretty much.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I just feel like time, and you just said it, like you hit it right on the head. Like timing, you know, as far as your timeline, timing is everything. And for me, I just felt like if I would have pursued this maybe 10 years, like I'm not, and I'm happy to shut my ears. I'm 36, and I first started rapping at 34. You know, at 2 years ago, I was on 35. So, but I've been on the business side of it for so long. So I just felt like if I would have started then, you know, I might have not, you know, had the same effect as far as the music content, and especially just know how, as far as business goes, the same networking circle that I have now, you know, and I could have missed the boat. So I just felt like, you know, now it's the right time. And then another thing too is my music, you know, my music is not for a person, to be honest, it's not for a person 15, 16 years old, you know, the teeny bopper. You know, my music is for a more mature audience, you know, who we've been there, you know, and done those things. And don't get me wrong, I like to listen to that music. You know, I'm a fan of music, but like I said, that's why I say I know my target audience. My music is for a more adult, mature crowd, you know, and that, you know, you don't want to always listen to trap, bang, 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 floss it up, this and that. You just want some laid back, groovy kind of like the bump to, vibe to, and that's where, you know, you want to let slim-kuttar music play.
Definitely. Yes, sir. Man, let's chat about being real for a second. How much of your real life is in and up in these songs?
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it. Like, when I write from personal experience, or just like either I've gone through it myself, or I've, you know, been with someone, like I'm talking like side by side with them going through it, you know. So with the take for instance Overdose-on-Lust, you know, it's about and it's about a married couple who find themselves in a love triangle, and two other people are, you know, a man and a woman introduced in this love triangle, and it has a dope twist. You got to go listen to the whole record and then check out the end and really get the twist. Now, I haven't been through that situation myself, but I have people, you know, around me that I've seen go through it, and then you hear about it all the time. This is something real, you know, that has happened. So either somebody's going to be like, that was me, you know, it's 4 people in this song, Larry, Lisa, Keisha, and Earl. So either you're gonna be like, oh, I was like, a female could be like, oh, I was Keisha, or I was Lisa, or a guy could be like, I was Larry, or I was Earl, or you know somebody that was them, you know. So it's real life that I'm talking about, you know. Off the wall, you know, that's real life, you know. It's not as I gave you going to the club, you know. It's time for you to, especially when you get with your people you ain't seen in a while, or you go on vacation, you're ready to forget everything. You going to the club, you want to stand on the couch and let the bottles light up. Like, you call in the scene, you may see somebody like a shorty or a woman, may see a gentleman that they want to get to know, and things can go from there, you know, and you live in that. And then with happy hour, you know, the hook says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm clocking out because all my work is done. I jumped in my whip like I was on the run, you know. So you headed to your spot, you know, your grown folks recess, you know. So it's saying, okay, some people got that spot on Fridays. You know, I'm going to my spot and I'm getting a couple of drinks. If I have to go home or do whatever, you know, this is my way to get away from it all. And then, like, you know, my lady is just paying homage, whether you're a male or female, just paying homage to the person that has held you down, you know, right or wrong, good or bad, they've had your corner. So it's all real life that I've either been through, experience firsthand, or I've seen people close to me have to go through, and I've had to, you know, either help them through that, or, you know, we've had talks about it. So, and that's one of the things I say about staying true to myself as an artist. I'm not going to rap about something that, and I could easily go in there and make the rapping and just do, you know, I got this, I got that. Who cares about that? You know, and because the average person, sometimes I feel like, and this is no knock on anybody, but like the average person, you know, you talking about how much money you got, clothes you got, houses, women, this and that. There's a lot of people that have never had that in their lifetime and never get to experience that in their lifetime. So it's not real to them. I feel like I want to make music that's real, that people can actually say, okay, I feel, dude, like, you know, And one of the things I've been fortunate enough, a lot of people come, especially like I do live shows, they come up to me and they just like, man, yo, your music dope. I'm really feeling this. And they mean that they can close their eyes and visualize themselves in these songs. So, so that's one of the key things that I try to do. So everything you may hear about, good or bad, this is real life stories. It's not just characters made up. Like this has happened. So if you hear it, good or bad, this has happened.
Man, when does keeping it real go wrong though? I remember I was spinning some songs, and my girl's like, "Who's Jasmine?" I'm like, "Ooh." And I had a line like spending time. I spent summer times with Caroline. She's like, "What summer was this?" It's like, "Oh."
Well, see, that's where now, and I will say this now. That's where music. That's the cool thing about music, and that's where you able to play with things, not lying, but you able to put a twist on it, put a twist on stories, to draw people in, to get people interested. And sometimes, I got a couple of songs where they just real life situations. They're not necessarily about me, but it's a real life situation. Like I said, like the song that I got out now, Love Overdose, it's about a love triangle. So it's not about me. So I just feel like, you keep it real, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's what people want to hear when I feel like they hear their music. But at the same time, too, though, you need to be selective in your lyrics. Some things are not for the general public. You know what I'm saying? Some stories not meant to be told more than once. So you kind of gotta but see, I think that's the fun thing about being an artist. That's the fun thing, that we have that freedom where we can kind of walk those lines at times. And then, sometimes you got to kind of when you write it, and I think anybody that's ever written something like, all right, and after you got to back to yourself, like, I can't, let me rearrange this, let me switch this, let me switch that around a little bit. So, yeah, you definitely have to keep that in mind when keeping it real goes wrong. So, you definitely got to be mindful of that.
Yeah, man. Now I know.
Yeah, I think we all had to learn that though, like trial and error. That's one of the things you gotta learn by trial and error.
Yeah. So, what gives you the courage to put it all out on the front?
You just can't really care about that. Oh, I'm trying to just think of it, but you just really can't let people's opinion of you define who you are. And I was trying to do it without, making sure I don't say certain select words. You just really can't give a F about it. Like about what another person would think of you. Everybody's not gonna like everything that you do. Yeah. But for me, if I can, you can tell me no a million times. If I get that one yes, I've won. So they can have a million people that say I don't like some kind of music, but then for every million they don't, I feel like they got 10 million that do. So my music might not be for everybody, but it will be for someone. So that's why I just try to put it out there. And I think too, music is a point of release. I look at it like when I'm writing, it's a point of release. Like whatever mood I'm in, I don't have to, keep those emotions and feelings bottled up. I can express it in song and go record it and share it with the world. So I think that's the cool thing about it. So it's kind of like therapy for me, so to speak, to be able to write and voice, how I perceive things, and then, I just feel like, I'm able to give my perception of it and how I view it. So, I think that is, to sum it up for me, to answer that question.
Definitely. Understand that. Well, let me ask you this: have you ever been burnt in the music business?
I have. I mean, it wasn't anything big, anything that I couldn't recover from, but I had a mentor of mine used to tell me this, and it really was true. He used to always say, "You're gonna get F, in this business at some point. You just gotta choose who you're gonna let F you, and you will hope they give you a little foreplay before they do it." So, and that's when I first started up, and that kind of resonated with me ever since. So, I mean, I have been burned. Like, and when I say burned, like a little deal here didn't go, as planned, or a situation working with this person felt like they was getting over, and I knew, at that time, okay, they feel like they're getting over, and sometimes, you got to pick your battles. All right, if I let you get this, all right, but then I'm gonna get 100 times that. So, but at the end of the day, I can say that I own 100% of everything that I do. I've created a platform for myself, with the help of others, but really, with hard work, where I don't have to, owe anyone anything from that standpoint of, from business deals and things like that. So, I feel like every artist, and if an artist say they never been burned, no matter how deep. Some burns, like, and just speaking of from third-degree burns to just minor little brush burns, I think my situation is more of a brush burn than anything, And it was just, like I said, little business. And it's crazy because some of those same people who, and I'm really speaking about one situation, the individual now they hit me up numerous times and just like, oh, this song, you need to do something. I'm trying to, now you want it now. I mean, you done burnt that bridge with me, behind a few dollars, like, so we can, I give everybody, one opportunity. Once you hang yourself, I just kick the chair away, so, it's one of those situations, but I think, and that's because it's just trial and error and me learning. As an artist, I had to learn, in that situation. It just, I look at it as a true learning experience. And, now I know. So, right. And this happened to me, like, when I first started off in music. I'm talking about when I, like, fresh in music and learning, the whole management business and hands-on reading about it, talking to anybody that I could about it to take their brain, So, it was one of those situations, and I'm grateful that it was, and fortunate enough that it was not something serious and devastating from. But I mean, it definitely was a learning experience. It helped me build a lot of character, helped me become really resilient, and to take things with a grain of salt in the music industry. So
definitely, I've once heard that a good deal is when both sides feel like they've been screwed.
That's true though. Honestly, like, I mean, I can definitely, because it's times where you feel like, okay, you got enough from that table, and where you made this deal, and you're just like, man, they getting over on me. And the other party could feel the same way, but at the end of the day, it really, if you look at it, it really is a good deal. So yeah, I could definitely see that.
Definitely, man. Slim, where do you want people to connect with you online?
Definitely check out my website. Well, before that, you can follow me on IG and Twitter at Slim Undisputed. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Slim-Kuttar, or you can just go to slim-kuttar.com. One-stop shop, got all of my social media. You can find out about upcoming shows, the whole new music I put out, anything related to Slim-Kuttar, you can find it at slim-kuttar.com, or like I said, you can check me out at Slim Undisputed on IG and Twitter, or Slim-Kuttar on Facebook.
Definitely. And I will have those links in the show notes, so all you guys have to do is click those links, and they'll take you right to it. All right, guys, after the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition, and it's called the Hot Seat. And our fans love this part of the segment, of course, along with the actual interview, but the audience will get a chance to hear Slim-Kuttar provide us with some vocals. Maybe he can sing, maybe he does poetry, inspirational speeches, freestyle raps, jokes, stories, or even live instruments. You never know what these creative minds and vessels will produce in the spotlight. So when we come back, we'll find out if Slim-Kuttar has what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of his true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents. But for right now, we have his song, Overdose-on-Lust, and we'll be right back.
Yeah. You already know. Where she at? 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 There she go. 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 Where she at? There she go. Where she at? There she go. There she go. There she go. There she go. Nightcaps explosive, drunk off La Potion, grinding slow motion, overdose on lust. Larry rolling with her, cause Keisha's a go-getter. Keisha in love with Larry, cause he's an ex-dealer. It's a little secret Keisha just don't know. Larry ain't no killer, and he never so dope. But Larry ain't gon' tell her that he's a good fella, cause if Keisha knew, then she wouldn't be with him. Dancing on the pole, stripping for tips. Keisha go home after her late night shift. But Larry mad at Keisha, cause he can't reach her. Keisha found out Larry was a preacher. They both living a lie, wanna keep it on the low. They both living a lie, trying to keep it on the low. Where she at? 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 There she go. 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 Where she at? There she go. Where she at? There she go. There she go. There she go. There she go. Nightcaps explosive, drunk off La Potion, grinding slow motion, overdosed on lust. Lisa was headed to the mail review, and to a girlfriend called her boo. Asked him to come through and bring his friend Earl too. Lisa girlfriend introduced her to Earl, like what it do. Lisa said you're really cute. Earl said same to you. Now Lisa's falling, lust came calling. She goes all in, just one problem. Larry been calling you. Hello, hello. Larry, can I get through? The preacher from Sunday school. His wife Lisa living a lie too. That's cold. Where she at? 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 There she go. 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 Where she at? There she go. Where she at? There she go. There she go. There she go. There she go. Nightcaps explosive, drunk off La Potion, grinding slow motion, overdosed on lust. Larry caught up in his feelings. Attention from Keisha no longer given, cause he got a wife and little children. Lisa fed up with how Larry living, so her feelings have left the building. She all about her and her little children. Partly her heart is still in it, but her body has gone missing. Posting on IG, her and Earl kissing. Now she expecting a new addition. Whose is it? Maury. Better keep it 100. They always got a cat like Earl and a lady like Keisha out there scheming, looking for trouble. Yeah. Don't be Larry and Lisa. No, sir.
All right, and we are back. That was Slim-Kuttar with the song Overdose-on-Lust. Man, two things. One, I love the New Orleans sound, because I'm from Mississippi, so that's like right next door. And two, storytelling. A good storytelling song is always A1 in my book, and that one was perfect. Very intriguing story. I love the flow, love the structure and everything about that particular record. Nice. So guys, you got to get in the game. Whatever you do not attempt, you will most certainly not achieve. The more you just sit and watch life go by, the less it will be to your liking. You don't want to be 50 and 60 years old regretting things you could have did 30 years ago. I do it all the time. Like, hey man, I wish I'm not 60 or nothing, but I'm like, yo, I wish I was 21 again. There would be so many things I would do different. Somebody asked me the other day if what would my choice be, $1 million or a time machine? A time machine, definitely, because I know there was a point in my time when I could have been a millionaire, right? Oh yeah, and I'll rewind the time. Plus, forget a few bad nights, right? Yeah. So anyway, you got to jump in and make a difference. Your complaints and excuses may be elaborate and well-reasoned, yet they will not give you fulfillment. If you're not satisfied with the way things are, you got to take action. You can only fulfill the promise of your own life. Get in the game and play it like your life depends on it, because it does. Don't expect it to be so easy. The beauty of success and accomplishment are not easy at all. A bodybuilder does not build large muscles by lifting small weights. Nope. The challenges or what will make you grow. And yes, sometimes it does hurt. Sometimes there is pain. But where there's pain comes endurance and strength. Okay? Achievement is not what you get. It is what you become. So stand up, step forward, and meet life head on. Take that from me, Dini-Mussolini. That is my word again, and word is bond. But for right now, let's bring back the man of the moment, Slim-Kuttar. You're back live with us. Well, not live. You're back with me, man. And, yeah, what are you going to perform for us?
Oh, you really going to put him on the spot. All right, hot seat. I'm just going to talk to him. Let's freestyle him. Just give him something off the head. Let me see. Nothing above us but God. Less is more, so it's only select few on my squad. Deals in place equal pound cakes. Eating pounds of cake, still gaining no weight. Accounts in the obese state. My state of mind is to keep mine behind gates in foreign states. Collecting priceless souvenirs for keepsakes. Believe competition pondering what we differ and what's in common. I took common sense and turned sense into commerce. Using vows, I vowed to be an undisputed hustler, and I am. See, it wasn't about the flossing. I'm in it for the longevity. Give me 10% of 10 companies, I'm a little wealthy. My whole life I've been balling. Used to hoop with the Spalding. Crossed over to the booth. 18 new coupe. Copped them for the whole crew. Every ball, facts, all truth. You dig? A little something, you know, just all the top of the head.
Nice. Man, I like that. So what's next? What's new around the corner?
Well, just about to continue promoting the single. I'm going to hit the road doing a lot of touring coming up in November. A lot of festivals, the top of next year on through the summer. So, really exciting time. I'm going to be releasing a video in another week. And just really, continuing to, just staying consistent with this grind, with this hustle. But definitely, by the summer, making slim-kuttar a household name. And anything new, I'm definitely going to shoot it your way as soon as we lock down. We got some of the dates, so we're going to put it all together in one. And we're going to shoot out all of the tour dates to everybody, so come check it out. I'm grateful. Definitely thank you for having me, allowing me to, invade your platform, reach all of your listeners. I appreciate it. Very grateful for that. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, keep in touch, man. Let us know about new releases. We'll definitely keep an eye out for you as well, man. Thank you very much for your time.
We locked in, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, one.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to theRadio@onlyonemediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the #1 rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.